And here we go. The tip goes to Fresno State. Nathan will go to work running the offense right away.
Looks like St. Mary's Rock's going to come out, play man-to-man. Soft man-to-man. What they're hoping for is Fresno State really to get some outside shots up early. Travel. Good call.
Nathan dragged the foot a little bit, so turnover on the first possession for Fresno State. We'll get the ball out of bounds to St. Mary's.
And we talked about this at the open, Ralph. You said, what can they do tonight, Fresno State? Force turnovers and pressure, and you see that right away. Fresno State going to come out, pick up 92 feet, and try to forward. There's the first one.
So the turnovers are even at 1-1. Javon Harris giving it back to Fresno State. We're still scoreless. We played just over 30 seconds. Fans still on their feet. They'll remain so until Fresno State scores a point. Eli, right-hand hook. Tipped up by Swillis, no good. Rebound comes off to St. Mary's. Harris into the front court. Drives, left-hander off glass, and scores. Javon Harris gives St. Mary's a 2-0 lead. A whistle and a foul on St. Mary's. It'll be Tyler Hurd.
I had a chance to see St. Mary's last year, late in the year, when Dave Bowinkle started to play Benson quite a bit. And he played on many young players that played very well.
Jeffries is strong in his first shot. It's tied up the baseline. The possession arrow points to St. Mary's.
You may look to double up in the backcourt if they get you, like right here. It is. Tonight, they try to look to double up and then rotate quickly.
Baird is short. Rebound Eli. Swillis. Rebound Hurd. Bulldogs are still scoreless. Played over a minute and a half. 2-0 St. Mary's.
Fresno State route, man-to-man, their primary defense. They're going to try to force, overplay, try to create some turnovers, and play behind at the low block.
Benson gives it up to Clark. Little strong rebound, Jeffries. A whistle away from the ball.
And maybe on Bard away from the ball, who was trying to get position on Alvin Eli. And don't forget, this year in college basketball, they are going to be much more strict in terms of hand checking and positioning inside. The referees have been instructed to try to clean it up, get basketball, especially college basketball, back to being a little bit more of a rhythm-type game and more of a finesse game.
Eli double team, kicks it out to Jeffries, who skies to control it. Fresno State still looking for its first points of the new season. Porter, there they are.
Well, they are playing so far off on the outside. Porter gets his first score, but that's going to be available. Might get a foul here in transition.
Demetrius Porter thought he had all ball on a shot attempt by Tyler Hurd. But Porter will pick up his first foul.
It's a nice adjustment, Ralph, by St. Mary's. The pressure all over, and then all of a sudden they release somebody, and St. Mary's gets somebody out early, and here's Ford. It looks like he had leather on that play. That was a may have had all orange on that transition, but they did get a foul on Demetrius Porter, so it'll be 2 shots for her.
The first one snaps a 2-2 tie with 17:39 remaining here in the first half.
This young man right here, a guy like Tyler Hurd, excellent three-point shooter. This is a guy that when you're playing St. Mary's, you cannot leave him alone, as you see that beautiful rotation he has from the foul line.
Jeffries for 3 and hits. Chris Jeffries gives Fresno State its first lead.
It's a big confidence boost for Jeffries to come out and get that first trade, give him a real nice lift.
Harris. Swillis takes it away from Eli on the rebound. 5-4 Bulldogs.
Don't swim. Don't play it, Tyler.
Porter releases with the right hand. He has press forward.
Yeah, I think the dribble drive will be available because St. Mary's not bending real hard on the outside. And they want the Dogs to shoot from the perimeter, so they're backing off. And I think the dribble to the goal may be available. Second time that Demetrius Porter's been able to score on an easy drive to the hoop.
But the bad news, he was whistled for his second foul. That was on the inbound.
Now for St. Mary's, you see nice little movement there. You really should bring it back and go at whomever Demetrius Porter is guarding. You got a guy out there with 2 fouls, and certainly Fresno State can ill afford to keep Porter off the floor with no Tito Maddox playing tonight.
Mustafa Al-Fayyad is in the game for Fresno State. And frankly, I didn't notice Melvin Eli go out, but Eli is out.
In the Gales lineup.
Nathan gets it into Porter. This time he'll throw up. Can't get the bounce. Rebound battle for it, taken by Al-Sayad. His 2 points as a Bulldog.
Oh, that was impressive. Al-Sayad just comes in the game and rebounds the ball and just sticks it right back in.
Nearly a steal by Swillis.
Here, you got to rotate and get to people.
And Benson at the other end. Quickly back at the other end of the basketball floor. A foul will be called on Benson.
You know what I liked about Jeffries that time? Here you take a look at Jeffries taking all the way to the goal. Benson was moving. I think had Benson had he been just standing there and had good position, he would have had that call. But Jeffries looked right over at the bench and said, "My fault." He knew he was out of control of it going to goal.
Nick Irvin checks into the game for the first time. He replaces Dennis Nathan. Irvin will inbound in a 9-6 Fresno State lead. Just about 4 minutes into the game. Allow Tyler Hurley to tie his shoe. And this is going to be a foul on Fresno State. Swillis picks it up. His first personal, 13th foul on Fresno State. Knocked away and stolen. Chris Jeffries. Porter for 3. Out of bounds, he goes to St. Mary's. The Gales will have the ball when we come back. 15:47 remaining. Time out on the floor. Fresno's 2 burglars are caught red-handed leaving the scene of their crime. Then at 9, it's the biggest manhunt in history. John Walsh needs your help in tracking down 50 criminals from 50 states in 1 hour. Cops at 8. America's Most Wanted at 9. Only on your station, KMPH Fox 26. 15:47 remaining in the first half. Fresno State leading this one 9-6.
Good job, Trey. Get in on Nick. Get in on.
One thing you notice early, Ralph, is Fresno State certainly deeper than they were last year. Jerry Tarkanian had multiple substitutions. Nice little move there by the Gales. Nice little pass inside and a finish.
Chase Poole for 2. His first 2 of the game. It's a 9-8 Bulldog lead. Melvin Eli is back in the game as we have another whistle inside. Going to be another foul under the basket away from the ball. This will be on Irvin Anderson, his first. Also in now for Fresno State, Travis DeManby and Noel Felix. DeManby for 3. Rebound comes off to Javon Harris. Hits. That's a 2-pointer.
And that's the one guy you have to be very cautious. Hurts got 4 early in the game. He came right off that screen, well executed by St. Mary's in the half court.
The 6-0 run for the Gales. Jeffries will drive the hammer. Wow.
Kind of like that one. Whew. Not much help from the weak side for the Gales.
Get out of the way.
That's where you really have to have some vision on the ball and vision on your man to get some help.
Kerr missed wide open shot from the baseline. Back comes Fresno State, leading 11-10. Felix. Rebound Eli goes over the top together. No basket, foul on Melvin Eli.
For Chris Jeffries.
Watch Jeffries.
Well, Jeffries does a nice job to get people in the air, but look at again, St. Mary's no help. And of course, Chris Jeffries, when you give him that much room, made a very nice finish. What I like about it, he seemed to be under control going into Duncan. He was looking for people to come over and establish some player control position, so he wasn't going full blast. He just took it under control and made an easy dunk.
Checking into the game now for Fresno State, Damon Jackson making his first appearance. Transfer out of college to the Sequoias.
Nice job there.
Nearly stolen by Jackson.
Get a little hand in the way.
And then blocked out of bounds from behind by Jackson. The coaches will like the defense.
Yeah, they like the
defense. He's a good scorer, but they like that end.
And you notice who he's guarding. They put him on her, who is really a prolific perimeter guy right here, Tyler Hurst. So Jackson does a nice job and then recovers. Gives some help from the backside and gets the block.
Demetrius quarterback in for Fresno State. Harris in and out. Rebound snatched away by Noel Felix. Now we'll see the offensive side of his game. Jackson misses. Poole with a rebound.
Shooter's mentality, Ralph. He's got a great rotation on it.
I played enough defense the first 30 seconds here.
That's it. Let me have it behind the line.
Blocked by Melvin Eli. Poole gets it back, throws it up. He's fouled by Nick Irvin. So block number 1 on the season for Melvin Irvin. Melvin Eli, who had 92 a year ago.
Well, no question, Melvin Eli brings that part of his game to the table every time out. Makes a good block and really an unfortunate bounce inside for Fresno State. Nick Irvin picks up the foul. And the Gales will get a 2-shot opportunity. But here's a guy that can block some shots. A career leader at Fresno State and really one of the premier shot blockers in the country.
91 his first season, 92 his next season. That was number 1 this year. 184 now in the career. Poole makes one of the two. We're tied at 11.
Yeah, he and Lauren Woods at Arizona, maybe the 2 top shot blockers in the country this year. St. Mary's is going to mix it up. It goes zone. They're going to show you multiple defenses.
Wow, Noel Felix on the long skies to take the pass from Nick Irvin. I thought it was too high, and then a steal by Porter. Eli can't control it, gets it back, hammers it home with no basket.
And traveled.
He walked before the dunk.
Now, that's really unfortunate for Fresno State. It's really 2 tremendous plays by the Dogs, and they do get a bucket out of it, but you'd think they'd pick up 4 points, and they don't get it. Still, good effort by Demetrius Porter to get back in his passing lane and get disruptive and force a turnover. I really think that Noel Felix is a guy that can make this Fresno State team very special. I mean, he's a talented young man. He's a little bit out of control last year, but I think as he gets older and understands the game, no question, tremendous leaper. He needs to develop a 10, 12-foot shot, and I understand he has worked on it very hard. And I think he's a real wild card on this team, Ralph. I think Noel Felix comes along and gets better by the conference, and this Fresno State team really will be a team to be reckoned with in the WAC this year. And that's quite a tandem inside when you have Felix and Melvin Eli. Like to lob against the fence.
Nathan bounces it into Felix. Stepped on the baseline. Out of bounds, St. Mary's.
Very unselfish. That's an opportunity to shoot the basketball. He did receive it close to the goal. Either draw the defense and kick it out, or look to make something happen offensively.
double team. Shot put up and no good by Frankie King. Fresno State coming back down the other way, leading 13-11. 12:15 remaining in the first half.
Zone again.
Porter. Long rebound comes off to King. St. Mary's running the floor. King goes coast to coast off the glass.
Now, Frankie King has been a real staple for this team for really his entire career. He's used to coming off the bench, a senior, gets 15, 20 minutes a game, a good shooter, aggressive, hard worker. So he's a real compliment to the St. Mary's team when he gets in it.
There's Jackson for a three-pointer. Damon Jackson with his first points as a Bulldog.
His eyes going to light up when he sees that zone. Jackson, he is roaming to the corner looking for the ball.
That'll get St. Mary's out of the zone in
a hurry. He'll get you out. Hard to zone Fresno State if you've got Jackson and Jeffries in the game at the same time along with Porter. Might get a 5-second count. Here's a good call by Charlie Rain. King's got to either pick the ball up or pass it. You cannot just dribble laterally for 5 seconds.
Bulldogs lead this one by 3. We'll be back. AT&T Wireless Services. The Gridiron Dogs battle SMU tomorrow at 4 at Bulldog Stadium. Tickets for the final home game are available and go on sale tomorrow morning at 10 at the Bulldog Ticket Office. Fresno State basketball will be in action Sunday, the final day of this Hispanic College Fun Classic. Tickets for that game go on sale at Selden Arena box office Sunday at 4:30 p.m. $20 per ticket. This week in Bulldog Sports brought to you by AT&T Wireless Services. Swillis inbound for Fresno State. 11:15 remaining in the first half. Bulldogs lead by 3. Swillis, Nathan, Jeffries, Al-Sayed, and Porter.
Still 1-2-2 zone. This is the time you want to kind of reverse it to Jeffries, and he needs to make himself active along the baseline. Good job by Frankie King to stay with him.
Porter alters it, passes to Jeffries. Kicks it out. Nathan, now Porter open for the 3. Short. Al-Sayed puts the rebound up and in.
Well, in limited playing time, Ralph, you got to say that Al-Sayed has been very impressive. Hard worker, good leaper. We know he can block some shots, but he gives you some offense. That's a real bonus inside.
Just gained his eligibility yesterday. The inbound pass, Benson. Rebound, Jeffries.
You like Jeffries. You know, he's not a guy that forces. You know, he had opportunities to shoot, but he passed it up and gets a little bit better rotation on this one and gets it off the motion.
Boy, look at Swillis keep that ball alive, and it goes to Porter. Bulldogs get another opportunity on offense.
I think Coach Tarkanian was trying to call for a timeout, but doesn't want to disrupt his club. And sometimes that player starts calling a timeout as the other player goes in and lays it in. So now he says, okay, forget the timeouts.
Jeffries. Al-Sayed again. Al-Sayed, I'll tell you, he is something else. He has 6 points now.
Nice hands, doesn't he? I mean, you have to be impressed with a little nice hand, little jump hook inside.
Fresno State enjoying its biggest lead now, up by 7, 20-13 with 9:34 remaining. The foul was on Swillis, his second. Bart is back in, Chris Bart.
Here's Al-Sayed on the missed shot. Nobody really blocked him out, but look what he does. He's got a real offensive-minded rebounding mentality, gets right after it, and follows the ball in.
Frankie King hit a three-pointer for the Gales at the other end, so it's 2016 Fresno State. Nathan will fight. Rebound Benson. Chris Slaughter no good. Rebound Jeffries. Dogs are running. Pass is skipped. And a holding foul. The ball was going to be intercepted with a foul away from the ball on Trotter.
St. Mary's foul, number 5, Chris Slatter, his first. 17. Bulldogs are in the bonus. For the stop onside.
Al-Sayed comes out. Eli checks in. Porter to the free throw line. Bulldogs are in the bonus. 17 fouls on St. Mary's.
This may be an opportunity now after the free throw. If you get a made free throw here, you have a real chance now to extend your defense and to pick St. Mary's up full court. So see if you do extend after the free throw. It's a good opportunity to try to press. And you go after him here. Now you might want to double up if you have the chance.
They get it to Benson. Eli ran into a screen. And they force the turnover.
It's a good job defensively. Everybody active, everybody moving their feet. Good double up, nice rotation, and you force the turnover. It comes right after a made free throw. That's why it's important to make that second free throw. Here's beautiful position, and it's a good call on the travel. Well, it's a nice job to get that inside position and just hold and force that turnover. So we said force 20 or more turnovers is one of the keys. St. Mary's was 7. The bad news is that the Dogs have 6. They're not supposed to have that many.
Nathan stood his ground while Eli went into the boards, and driving the basket is Jeffries for the layup. It's 24-16. Jeffries with 7.
They have to hustle back and help out.
Harris no good with the Bulldogs. Can't control the ball. It's out of bounds. St. Mary's. Travis Demandy checks back in for Fresno State. Porter will go to the bench with 8:20 remaining in the first half.
Nice job of rescuing Demetrius Porter. Don't forget, he does have the 2 fouls. Picked up 2 early fouls, and the Gales really have not gone at him very much. So you'd really love to see Demetrius Porter come back the second half with only the 2 fouls. Demandy with a great play. Don't get out.
Control. He was trying to control it, and it slipped away from him. Poked it away with the hand. Got down on the floor to try and keep it, but couldn't.
You play defense with your feet and with your hands. Look at the hands and the feet. Perfect position. You dive on it. Nice job, and you just lose the fumble out of bounds, but still a great effort by Travis Demandy. Oh, you love that pressure. And now they've kind of picked it up a notch defensively. St. Mary's having a very difficult time with that guard forward pass.
Slaughter trying to inbound. Can't get anybody open. Now he does get it to Harris, who then dishes it off. Bart blocked from behind by Demandy, out of bounds. It'll be St. Mary's ball with 13 on the shot clock. And St. Mary's wants to talk it over. 7:57 remaining here before halftime. Subway slam attack. Tonight's winner is Candy Lee from Layton. She has automatically won a 6-foot Subway party sub and a pair of tickets to an upcoming Fresno State home game. When the Dogs get a slam dunk in the second half, she'll also qualify for a chance to win a trip to the WAC tournament. So good luck, Candy Lee from Layton.
And the WAC tournament is in Tulsa. Beautiful downtown Tulsa. Home of the Golden Hurricane.
We've been there. Done that.
I think Tulsa's probably looking for a little payback against Fresno State this year. But I don't know if they're going to get it. They did have a great tournament, though. You know, Tulsa showed some real class. They lost 3 times to Fresno State. Lost that heartbreaking game here in the finals of the WAC tournament, Ralph, and then went right on and played awfully well in the NCAA tournament.
Those were 3 terrific games.
Yes, they were.
Fresno State and Tulsa.
Yes, they were. That's what college basketball is all about.
Approaching 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Jeffries will take it in himself.
How do you like it?
Wow.
Chris, just take it to the goal and let's finish it.
Back quickly at the other end, though. It's Javon Harris with a layup. So the Dogs trade baskets.
Can we talk about that a bit? Chris Jeffrey.
Well, there's another one. They're going to wave it off, though, because Melvin Eli walked before the dunk.
So Jeffries, an explosive move. He's got that little pump fake down, and when he makes up his mind to take it in, that was a dunk for about 6 or 7 feet. I mean, that wasn't one that was right near the goal. He extended there from quite a distance away from the basket.
And he liked it. You see the smile?
That was impressive.
Blocked by Eli. That's number 2 on the night. Bart gets it back and says, I don't want to shoot over Eli again.
And no question, St. Mary's now, they're thinking every time they bring it inside. They're looking for Fresno State people that are helping and flying to the ball. And as Dave Bullwinkle told me before the game, he said, we're going to make some mistakes. We've got so many new players, but this is a very good game for us to see if we can be competitive.
8-point lead for Fresno State. The Bulldogs' biggest margin was 10 at 26-16 as Nick Irvin tries a circus shot and then knocks it out of bounds.
The full court pressure, no question, has been disruptive to St. Mary's. And here's what they've done a couple of times. Now, that ball was not touched, Ralph, so it'll go all the way back to the other end of the floor. And Fresno State, you got to go all the way back down, guys. They should get an opportunity right under their own goal to run a very solid out-of-bounds play.
6:39 remaining in the first half. It's 26-18. Bulldogs.
Ready?
Irvin to inbound. And a foul on Schlatter away from the ball. He was holding Chris Jeffries.
That'll be a shooting one-on-one opportunity, so Jeffries will get to the line. Don't you think this is much more of a proactive Fresno State team? Not that they weren't in previous years, but I think with a deeper bench.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up, because you see so many substitutions, and the idea is to have everybody out there for 2-minute bursts, give it all you can, and then substitute.
Yeah, not only that, but you can take some chances. You've got some people that can come off the bench and help, so you're not really constrained in terms of just going with 5 or 6 guys and worrying so much about foul problems. You can say, okay, let's get out after them, take a few chances, go as hard as you can for 4 or 5 minutes. We'll get you in and out of the game. So this team, no question, defensively has been much more proactive than they've been in previous years. I mean, that's great news. Jeffries has 11. I mean, what a pretty good all-around first half for Chris Jeffries.
He takes a seat on the bench, replaced by Damon Jackson. Foul in the backcourt on Nick Irvin. It's that hand check foul you were talking about earlier.
They are going to call that this year in college basketball. You cannot hand check. This game has to be a little bit more of a finesse-type effort. Keep your hands off of your opponent. And they're going to clean up the inside play also, Ralph. They're not going to allow that defensive center just to rest his arm on the offensive guy and move him away from the basket. They're going to say, okay, you got to move your feet. You cannot just rest your body on the other player.
2 personal fouls on Irvin.
I think that's a change.
17 fouls on the Bulldogs, so Tion Connor shooting a 1-and-1.
We're playing also the experimental wide lane, so you see that's the tape, the white tape on the floor. So they're experimenting with the wide lane, and you see the dotted tape near the basket. They're also experimenting with that rule that you cannot take a charge inside of that area. You will not get the call.
Jerry Tarkanian, he just let out a groan as that shot went up by Noel Felix. Then he looked at me and I looked at him and he said, well, it was okay, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. Well, he made it. Oh, don't do it. Okay, that's okay. Better go in.
30-20 Bulldog lead. Benson. Rebound. Eli. And there's going to be a foul on Fresno State.
Foul on Melvin Eli. His second.
18 fouls now on the Bulldogs. 2 personals on Melvin Eli.
Well, this is the foul away from the basket, and see, not much of a foul. Last year, I don't think that's called at all. But Eli trying to get position with Bart inside, and just a little bit of a brush foul, but the official's right there to make the call. You had better be deep in college basketball this year, because some people, there's going to be an abundance of fouls called.
Bart short on the front end of the 1-and-1. Skip pass from Irvin to Eli. Turns, fires, and hits.
Rhythm, rotation, release, and results. And swish. Which is the best part. Well, that falls into the result category.
32-20, Fresno State now with its biggest lead, up by 12, 5:41 remaining. We're going to keep it here during the timeout. Join KMPH Fox 26 tomorrow afternoon at 4 as the football Dogs host the SMU Mustangs. The Bulldogs face a must-win situation to keep their bowl hopes alive. And to top it off, it's a revenge game for the Dogs. SMU beat Pat Hill's team last season in Dallas, preventing them from winning an outright WAC championship. So, it's the Dog and Pony Show tomorrow afternoon at 4, only on your station, KMPH Fox 26. 32-20, Fresno State leading by 12 with 5:41 remaining in the first half. Chris Jeffries leads Fresno State with 11 points. Jerry Tarkanian has played just about everyone.
Cut through, penetrate, see what we got. Explore it from there. Yeah, pass it away. Great defense and no fouls. Don't let them get back in.
I think that's fairly impressive. Active coaches, highest winning percentage. Pretty good names there. Roy Williams, Rick Jarris, Nolan Richardson, the top of the heap. Jerry Tarkanian. Not to mention Lou Henson from New Mexico State also won this tournament. Of course, Lou, in his second stint at New Mexico State, coached at Illinois, and I mean, he's got 700-plus wins. That's quite a few trips from the locker room to the bench and back.
Tark in his 30th season as a Division I head coach. He's won 20 games 28 times in his 29 seasons up to this point. And still not in the Hall of Fame.
That's a good point. And still not in the Hall of Fame. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. But pressure again.
Turns it over on the pressure from Jackson.
I think Jackson's done a good job.
Maybe surprising people with his defense.
Yeah, working hard defensively. You know, he's got the rep of being an offensive guy, which he is. But they've done a nice job with Jackson in terms of working hard with him on defense, and he's doing a good job.
Works open.
Playing better defense than he is offense.
Okay.
He has made one though out there.
Harris. Nick Irvin tried to slap it away from behind, but will be whistled for the foul.
Now, we talked about the keys of the game early. Force 20 or more turnovers. Certainly, the Dogs are on pace to do that. Low post scoring. They have gotten some low post scoring, thanks to Chris Jeffries going to the goal and dunking it.
And El Sayed.
Yeah, and El Sayed has been very effective. To my recollection, Ralph, he's got 3 inside baskets in the first half. And point guard production has been effective. I don't think it's been outstanding, but certainly it's been effective with the guys that have been at that point guard spot.
After picking up his 3rd foul, Nick Irvin goes to the bench, replaced by Travis Demandy. As Jovan Harris hits both free throws. Chris Jeffries in now. He replaces Damon Jackson. 5:20 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, Irvin picks up his 3rd foul. And don't forget that Demetrius Porter does have 2.
Eli over the double team. Offensive foul, no basket. The foul away from the ball.
Not a good foul. And Dave Bullwinkle saying, look, guys, we're down 10. We've got the ball. We have an opportunity jumper from about 14 feet. It didn't go in. But this is a time we don't need to commit any offensive fouls away from the basket. Had nothing to do with the play, and Benson was moving and screening and trying to really cause some problems, not near the goal, and picks up a needless foul and a shooting opportunity. Well, this hasn't been a drop-off at all. When Eli goes out, this young man here, Mustafa El Sayed, comes in. And it's been a pretty solid performance from the center position for the Dogs tonight.
Porter with a rare miss from the free throw line on the 1-and-1. 10-point Bulldog lead under 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
I don't know why guys want to stop their dribble right near the half-court line. Another tremendous play.
To Mandy again. Jeffries, watch out here.
Well, you got to credit Travis Demandy because he's the guy that made it happen. Again, a superlative defensive effort. Now another steal.
Turnover to Al-Sayed. Give it up, big guy. He does. Porter, grab from behind. That's going to be an intentional foul on Harris.
Frustration has hit the Gales. And Fresno State, with their defense, really has turned this game around. Here's Porter. There's Harris with the grab, and that really is not a good play by Harris. Play with your feet. Move your body. You don't really have to grab guys when they're going to the goal. No reason to do that. So now you're going to get an automatic 2 shots, and you'll have the ball out of bounds. I'll tell you what, Demandy has not played a lot of minutes. He hasn't played a whole lot of minutes, but he's made some things happen when he's come into the game.
And it's been defensively.
Yeah, it's been, to my recollection, he's got at least 2 disruptive plays in the midcourt area and another steal.
Porter, uncharacteristically, has missed 2 of his last 3 free throws. Let's take a look at the play that we were talking about. First, it was the steal by Demandy, setting up Chris Jeffries for the windmill.
He likes that. He likes the windmill play.
So do I.
Yeah, I know you do. So does he. So do the fans. All right, now's the time that St. Mary's really not putting much pressure on at all. They really haven't in the half court because they're so concerned with the Dogs' inside game. So they've been trying to just force some outside shots, but that haven't been able to do that either.
Approaching 4 minutes in the game, first half. Jeffries with a drive, and he was fouled on his way. So that'll be more free throws. Second foul on her. 10 team fouls on St. Mary's, though it's the double bonus, as Shannon Swillis gets ready to check in.
And this is a time in the game, Ralph, you're inside of 4 minutes in the half that you can really dictate the tempo if you're Fresno State. I mean, you've got St. Mary's in a precarious position. They're in foul problems. This is the time of the game you'd like to at least direct the ball near the basket on every possession. You look at Jeffries, very impressive with 5 of 8, 14 points, and of course a couple of sensational dunks. And
they've been high percentage shots.
I like that. Well, you know what? When you shoot the ball down, your percentage goes up. You shot the ball down.
That's a good occasion.
You like that?
I would write that one down. Dogs with their biggest lead, Jeffries.
Special guest, Fred Reese. And Fred, you're on the founders board of the Hispanic College Fund. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the organization is about and why a basketball tournament in Fresno?
Well, the organization was founded by Hispanic business people, and the purpose is to grant scholarships to potential college students. Why the basketball tournament? That's a good question. It's just something that just evolved. Actually, it started with the football tournament in Texas. And, we're a nonprofit, and this is a great opportunity. So it's just it's a nice partnership, and it's worked out well.
Fred, why Fresno State? Is this something that's going to circulate around the country?
This is something that's going to circulate around the country, yes. Fresno State is just a natural. This is the San Joaquin Valley. We have a very, very large Hispanic population. It's a perfect place to start this, and I'm very proud to be part of it, especially because of the fact that I am from the Valley.
And scholarships will be awarded?
Absolutely. That's the name of the game right here.
How do you get a scholarship, Fred? How do you qualify?
Well, we have a website, and I can't tell it to you right now. And we also have a telephone number. It's an 800 number. I can give it to you if you want it real quick.
Fred, that's what we're here for. We're here for you.
All right, real quick.
Fred's going to pull out his little handy-dandy item here, and we're going to tell everybody how to get a scholarship from the Hispanic College Fund.
Okay. The phone number is 800-644-4223. Our website is HispanicFund.org. contact us at our website or give us a call, and we promise that we'll get something going for you.
All right, Fred, thanks very much. Good luck with this. It's a very good cause, and hopefully it's going to take off around the country.
Thank you for your support.
Good luck. Fred Reese, who's a founder of the Hispanic College Fund. Stay with us. 15-point lead by Fresno State at halftime. We'll be right back. Right after.
Get it for a limited time at the Bell.
Tonight's halftime locker room report is brought to you by Martin Chevrolet Oldsmobile in Reedley, featuring the Silverado, the most dependable, long-lasting truck on the road. It's 44-29. Fresno State leading this one at halftime, and a lot of good highlights for the Bulldogs in the first half of this one. Some spectacular highlights at times for Fresno State. Chris Jeffries certainly was one of those
highlight show. Yeah, he was a highlight show kind of in his own way. Chris said, "I'll take it to the goal once and dunk it." And then here's a nice little lob from this is Noel Felix. I mean, he's a high riser, and a beautiful pass looked like from Nick Irvin on the outside. And how about Travis Demandi with his defense? I mean, he was very disruptive, caused some turnovers, and here's a windmill by Jeffries in the open court. So very impressive performance by Fresno State. They did a great job of going over the top, and there's that man Felix again. I mean, he gets up. And how about Saeed coming off the bench and getting some big scores? So
everybody contributing. Tonight's stats are brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car with weekend rates as low as $9.99. Call for details.
Well, the one stat that jumps right out at you, look at the turnovers, 17 turnovers, and the Dogs have 5 steals and 4 blocks. So that translates into points, Ralph. Good job by Fresno State.
Individually, I had Chris Jeffries leading with 15 points, as you see there. Al-Sayad with 6 and also 4 rebounds coming off the bench. Now for a report from the Bulldog locker room, we send it to Jack Furtick. Jack?
Well, guys, obviously the Bulldogs were pretty happy, but they're concerned. How did they start off the second half? Jerry was running guys in and out. Not much of a flow, but did get a lot of points off their defense. The half-court zones, the different zones, the chasing guys through sometimes playing it straight, confused the Bulldogs a little bit, but when they're getting points off their defense, that's when they're at their best.
Okay, Jack Furtick, thank you very much for your insights. And, yeah, we've seen some great defense played by Fresno State in the first half. The second half still to come.
Your business has more power with the help of our business. Let a CalFed business banker show you how. You have more power than you think. CalFed Commercial Banking. You have the power to organize your finances. You have more power than you think.
15 as we get ready to start the second half. And Dan, I think to be some fun for Fresno State in the second half of this basketball game.
Well, it can be some fun if they start off strong. And I think, as Jack Furtick told us at halftime, the one real concern you have now is let's see if we can just finish this thing in the first 5 or 6 minutes and not let St. Mary's hang in there. So he wants to have his club and Jerry's club come out, play very hard, cause some turnovers, and try to get some easy scores and play real well at the beginning of the half.
Some of the new guys not playing like new guys for Fresno State.
No, they're not playing like new guys. Jeffrey's a guy, of course, started at Arkansas, big-time program, played well in the NCAA tournament. I mean, he's a young guy, but he's a veteran. He knows how to play.
Inside the line right away. The right-hand hook is down. Fresno State leads 46-29, drawing first blood in the second half.
And well executed. Beautiful job that time of dribble rotation and a nice pass inside. And Melvin Eli, his patented little jump hook, and that's the kind of thing you love to see. Good teamwork, good team play, and nice execution, and good start for Melvin Eli. Now, don't forget, he does have 3 fouls.
Three-point attempt by Harris is no good. Jeffries with a rebound. That's a three. So Fresno State opens up with a 5-0 run.
And we talked at the end of the first half. I didn't think that Porter and Eli had great first half. But they sure start in the second half with 2 big shots. And that's exactly what you want to do. Good teams put other clubs away early when they've got them down. And
In the past, that has not been the case with Fresno State, but Dave Bowinkle now very, very concerned. And I'll tell you what, he did not like that shot by Harris. He's telling Harris, look, I know we're behind, but we've got Eli in foul trouble. We don't have to come down and take the first long-range forced jumper that is available. Let's pass the ball around and see if we can get it inside to pick up that fourth foul on Eli and get him out of the game. Young clubs tend to panic big time when they get behind. I mean, they just think, oh, my gosh, we got to shoot right away, and we got to shoot the three.
And St. Mary's is now behind by 20. That's the biggest lead of the game for Fresno State. Just the start of the second half. We played 45 seconds. Porter after the three is in double figures with 10.
Hey, you notice Jeffries, Ralph, look at him. See, he's guarding her, taking the ball out of bounds, but he doesn't guard her. See, Jeffries, they play 5-on-4. See, Jeffries, number one, he's wild card. And look at him. He's not guarding her. He's just looking to double up in wild card and see if he can cause a turnover. Now, his man's all the way down the floor.
Bart has it blocked, but a foul. Sharon Swillis.
Now, that's how you can beat the press. If you can make that pass, get through the double team, and go ahead and make some effective passes, you will have numbers at the other end of the floor. The Dogs have most of their players down trying to get that steal, and here's the Swillis coming over trying to deflect Bart, going to the goal, and they pick up a foul.
Noel Felix checking in for Swillis, who goes to the bench with 3 fouls. Eli also has 3.
And to my recollection, Porter with 2. Porter had the 2 early fouls. But Dawn I did not think he picked up a third.
Urban is the other player with 3 fouls. Porter does have 2. Eli, nice pass. A little too hot for Felix to handle. And it goes over to St. Mary's.
Jeffries is so versatile. He can guard smaller players. He gets in the backcourt, he can guard the small guy.
Bart with a bad miss with a long rebound. Comes up to Connor, who gets it to him.
Now, let's see if Bart should really get low and see if he can pick up that fourth foul on Eli if they can find him. They can't find him.
Benson will pull up. That's going to be short. Nathan with a rebound. Bass tried to pass it through traffic and had it deflected. Ahead to Connor. Can he control it? Saves it back on the court, and Bart comes up with it. Benson blocks, but fouled by Noel Felix.
Remember the first play of the second half, Ralph, when Fresno State came out and dribbled ball rotation into Eli with a jump hook. And here's the block. Looked like there again. Good effort by Felix, but definitely picked up some kind of motion and movement on the body, and that's what the official saw. But that first movement by Fresno State when they did get the inside score, that's the kind of thing you have to go back to. You've got the lead. Let's go and execute in the half court. Run the ball through the big people and let the big people down low dictate what is going to happen. Because they will get doubled up, and when you're doubled up, you can pitch it back outside. Or they may be able to take it right to the 10.
Benson hits both free throws, giving him 4 in the game. It's a 16-point Bulldog lead.
So now's the time you want to run your offense. See if you can bring it down, bring it over to Eli's side, and see if he can at least touch it.
Eli having trouble handling it, was stepping on the baseline. So another turnover as Fresno State got out to a fast start here in the second half with 5 unanswered points. But now the last 4 have been scored by St. Mary's. And a foul on Nathan right in front of the Bulldog bench.
Dennis Nathan commits a foul, his first.
First personal on Nathan. Already 3 team fouls on Fresno State.
No, you stay proactive and aggressive. You like the defense. You like the concept. because Fresno State will have some warm bodies to put in the game shortly if the guys out there get tired.
Pass knocked away by Nathan, intercepted, goes to Jeffries. Puts it up, can't get it to fall, but there was a foul on the play.
Now, Jeffries is, for the most part, here's the one thing you love about him. He is thinking as he's bringing the ball down the floor. He's not going full speed. He's saying to himself, is anybody stepping in my way? I'm just going to dribble it, take my time. Let's find out what's available. He still has the windmill dunk available to him if he gets inside. We know that. But he's a guy that's thinking while he's playing. You can't play this game full speed all the time, out of control.
Javon Harris picked up his third foul for St. Mary's.
He's got a textbook release from the foul line, I'll tell you that. Beautiful looking free throw shoot.
Frankie King comes in now to replace Harris, who goes to the bench for the 3 fouls.
Watch his right arm and elbow and rotation. This guy's a good looking free throw shooter. There's no reason why he should not shoot 80 plus from the line.
17 points now for Jeffries. Shot put up by Ford, no good. Benson with the rebound, but has it taken away by Jeffries. They kick it around. It goes to Porter.
Right
to
back.
Nathan. Back to Porter. Lays it up and in. Fast break.
Nice play by Nathan. Very unselfish. It's not who scores. Just make sure your team gets results.
Bulldogs once again have their 20-point lead. Connor tries to throw it up over Jeffries, who held his ground. Rebound comes off to Felix. Bounce pass, a little too strong for Eli from Nathan. And a foul on Noel Felix. Got a piece of Chris Bart. Take a look at the Bulldogs in transition.
Well, they do a nice job. It all starts with the deflection and the rebound, and Jeffries getting the ball back outside, and Nathan just gives it right back, and a nice play all the way to the goal by Porter. So good distribution, good team play, good decision making in the open court.
King off the inbound. Rebound, Eli has demanded. Puts it up and in as he waited for the defender to draw a little bump for the foul. So he has the opportunity for a three-point play.
And it looked like he was waiting for it. Demambi again under control. A terrific outlet pass here by Melvin Eli. And Demambi feels the pressure and waits for the contact and then has the presence of mind to finish the play.
For Melvin Eli. Travis Demambi to the line.
Demambi trying to make it a 23-point lead for Fresno State. And does.
Not going to get any easier for St. Mary's. They're in a very tough conference. They play in the West Coast Athletic Conference, and Pepperdine and San Diego, USF, Santa Clara, Gonzaga. We know what Gonzaga has been doing in recent years, so they really don't have it easy getting into conference play.
King kicks it back out. Connor in traffic. Finds an open Her for three. Rebound to Al-Sayed. Baseball pass to Irvin.
Look at Al-Sayed just winging the ball outside. Again, a little bit out of control when you've got the lead. Well, it all stems from point guard play. Someone has to grab the ball and get everybody organized.
Whistling a foul coming over the back is Al-Sayed. There were a couple of wild shots thrown up there by St. Mary's. Sayed battling for the rebound. Picks up his first foul, 5 team fouls on the Bulldogs.
I mean, he's got a great personality, a very nice young man, and he's working exceedingly hard. This is just good hustle. You love to see a guy get on the floor, get after it.
Back to live action. Javon Harris lays it up and in as Shannon Swillis hit the floor. 62-37, 25-point Bulldog lead.
That's a beautiful high-low.
Swillis with the pass for El Sayed.
I got to tell you, I mean, El Sayed has been very effective.
And with that slam, Candy Lee Layton is disqualified to win a trip to the WAC tournament in March, courtesy of Subway Sandwiches and KMPH Box 26. Ooh, answers with a slam of his own at the other end. And a foul on Harris. That will be his fourth, I believe. Ball was thrown up. No good. Harris will have to leave.
El Sayed has made a big impact for not playing many minutes. I mean, what's he play? Maybe 7 or 8, 9 minutes. He's got a point a minute, getting quite a few rebounds, made a beautiful pass for an easy dunk. Well, he's proven he can play.
Substitutions for the Bulldogs. Porter back in along with Eli and Dennis Nathan.
I'll tell you the other thing, Ralph, that's really going to help El Sayed is playing against Melvin Eli each day in practice. And can you imagine learning from Eli for a whole year? And this guy's going to be unbelievable.
Great pass by Swillis. Put up and in by Jeffries. Swillis had the wide open shot after missing the first one. Unselfishly, though, he passed it. And a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, Jeffries has quite a bit of Larry Abney in him. I mean, he's a guy that understands his role and gave it up inside. And, of course, Chris Jeffries, a guy that can extend in the air, make acrobatic shots. And we've said this a lot about this young man, but very much under control and makes good decisions on the basketball court.
19 tonight for Jeffries. His Bulldog debut. Back at the other end, they battle for it. Loose ball picked up by Melvin Eli. They'll give to Nathan. Porter for three. Rebound. Picked up by Porter. Lays it up and in. Her at the other end. In and out. Rebound taken by Eli. Here come the Bulldogs, leading 68-39.
St. Mary's now in a run-and-gun type of game, and not really the way they would like to play. But Fresno State has completely taken the Gales out of their motion, and St. Mary's now really taking bad shots when they come down the floor. Look at that, another move inside. If you look at a shot chart, you see that Fresno State scores, for the most part, are around the basket with some sprinkling of three-point shots, where St. Mary's are almost exclusively on the perimeter.
Porter for three.
And Demetrius has missed some shots. I guarantee you he's not going to miss many of those. You give him a wide-open 15-18-footer, he's going to make it more times than not. Try to hit him off from the outside. Yet, it's 70-30 out.
Lacy pass was stolen by Chris Jeffries and kicked out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. It's all Bulldogs. Fresno State by 31. Your station Sunday afternoon at 5 when they play Game 2 of this Hispanic College Fun Classic. Catch all the action on KMPH Fox 26. And with a 31-point lead, less than 12 minutes remaining, looks like it'll be Fresno State against St. Bonaventure in the championship game of the first Hispanic College Fun Classic. Andrew Bowen in the game for Fresno State.
St. Bonaventure, a pretty good basketball team. Don't forget they went to the NCAA tournament last year, 20-plus wins, lost in overtime to Kentucky. They got a nice big guy in Peter Van Pasten, 6'11", 6'11 and a half, left-hander. So St. Bonaventure much more athletic than St. Mary's and with a legitimate inside presence. So I think the game's going to be very interesting Sunday afternoon.
Bulldogs with a 31-point lead. Nathan loses it and it goes to Porter.
And the other thing, Ralph, the Bonnies have a better backcourt than St. Mary's. And I don't think the full court pressure may bother them somewhat, but it's not going to bother them as much as it bothered St. Mary's. Now, wait a minute.
Now, can we talk about this for a minute? Can El Said, can he make that shot? I mean, he can score. That wasn't he.
Noel
It was
Felix.
Felix. Well, I knew. See, I knew it was this part of the game. I knew Felix could make it.
Cool. Rebound, Felix. Loses it, gets it back. He's in a struggle for it. They tie it up.
Well, that's a shot that everyone has been saying that Noel Felix has been working on, is that little 15-foot shot. And obviously that will complement his game tremendously if he can get consistent from that range.
Felix picks up the foul. That is his third. 16 fouls on Fresno State, 4 on St. Mary's. Irvin Anderson dishes it off. Melvin Eli playing it's way out there.
Well, you know, the idea there, Ralph, is to jump out on guys coming around screens, as Frankie King knocks one down. But even if it's your Cincinnati, Bob Huggins teams for years have their big guys coming out, and when you come off a screen near the midcourt area, it doesn't matter if you play defensive forward, center, or guard, you got to jump out and help, and that's a good move by Eli to come out and help in that move.
Again, a whistle away from the play. A holding foul on Anderson.
40, Anderson, his third. 15 fouls.
Trying to keep Melvin Eli from getting free. 5 team fouls now on St. Mary's. Out for basket. A dipsy-do shot by Dennis Nathan.
Well, Nathan, I think, who's been very conservative, trying to just direct the club, makes a spectacular shot down the lane. He's saying, you know, I got some moves in my repertoire also, so I can take this one down. And Nathan liked it. He's hopping, he's jumping.
Looked like the Icky shuffle, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Icky Woods.
Keon Connor and Chris Barnes.
Nathan with his first 2 points of the game.
Well, you like that other number, though. How about the 5 assists?
We talked about how it would affect this team having a different point guard than the one you had practiced with most of the preseason.
One thing that's for sure, Fresno State much deeper and really, in a way, Ralph, more athletic than I've seen them. Even though they've been very, very athletic, they just have more guys that can come in and disrupt you.
Porter ahead of the pack, takes the pass and has it knocked away and out of bounds. It may have been Connor who got a piece of that. Or Bart. But Nathan comes out. Nick Irvin checks back in, and he will inbound.
At the top of the show, I had a concern. You cannot replace Courtney Alexander. There's no doubt. Leading scorer in the country. And I was worried you did not have a go-to player. But after watching the Dogs in the first game, certainly Jeffries is a guy late in the game that you wouldn't mind having the ball in his hands because he'll make something good happen. And Porter's another guy late in the game that will make good decisions.
Wild shot put up by Nick Irvin is no good. Rebound comes off to King. He'll pull up and file and miss. Gets his own rebound. This is Connor. They work it around to Slaughter. Blocked by Eli. Tipped up high and then taken out of the air by Felix. He's called for walking.
And I think Felix may have tweaked his ankle. No, he's getting up. I thought he may have twisted his ankle on the way down. It's odd why they call walking on that. I'm still perplexed on that call to be. Here's Melvin Eli again. He does this often. This is the second time that he's come out and blocked a 15, 18-foot jumper.
Eli hammered as he tries to go with the right-hand hook. So Melvin Eli will shoot free throws. 9:06 remaining here in the game. It's 75-42 Fresno State in a runaway.
And the one adjustment now that Eli will make later on. Now look at how surrounded he is by blue shirts. That's the time when Melvin Eli will recognize and punch the ball back outside to an open player for an easy shot.
What he's doing now is just drawing the defense, but he has to make that pass from inside to out in the clutch to set up his other teammates, because he will be surrounded at the post this year.
Eli makes one of the two. And now we'll go to the bench. Mustafa Al-Sayed comes in to replace him with 9:06 remaining in the ballgame.
Great game for Fresno State to get everybody some action. I mean, this is a perfect time to come out and get all your young players a significant amount of time and see what they can do.
First Clark, then Cool going up. Now goes to Slaughter. He can't get it to go. Finally, tips it up and in. Good effort. Kind of a night for St. Mary's.
Yeah, good effort by Slaughter to stay with it. We were all worried that, in fact, Jack Furtick was concerned that at the start of the second half, Fresno State was not going to put away St. Mary's. You could hear it in the tenor of his voice, but that has not happened. The Dogs have been very impressive here in the second half, and now a coaching staff with all kinds of opportunities to look at different combinations.
Porter with a nice drive, throws it up and in. Demetrius Porter in double figures. He has 16. It's a quiet 16.
Very quiet 16. And this is not indicative, I really don't believe, of the way St. Mary's will play the remainder of the year. I mean, it's you take a look at the scoreboard, if you're St. Mary's and you have a hard time recognizing if you're down 30, 40, or what you're down, you know it's a ton. But I think St. Mary's will improve. They'll get better. They've got some athletes. They just have to get their young guys a little bit more efficient. They need some better, some guard play, and that's the one thing that's hurt them in this game.
Swillis checking in for Fresno State. Replacing Noel Felix.
You cannot win in college basketball, Ralph, unless you have guards. Got to have guards. Big people help, but the guys in the back court do the damage.
All 26 is brought to you by Gottschalks. Discover the world of Gottschalks, a world of selection, service, and value. By Community Medical Centers. And see your Northern California Chrysler Plymouth dealer today for great model year-end deals.
Time again for This Week in Bulldog Sports, brought to you by AT&T Wireless Services. The women's basketball team will be in action Sunday afternoon at 2 in the North Gym, facing an all-star team from the NWBL. The Bulldogs will then tip it off for real when they host the annual Fresno State Classic, November 25th and 26th. Games will be played at 1 and 3 p.m. both days. For tickets to exciting women's basketball, call 278-DOGS or log on to GoBulldogs.com. This Week in Bulldog Sports, brought to you by AT&T Wireless Services. His bark is worse than his bite.
I hope so. Yeah, I guess.
But the Bulldogs are putting a bite on the Gales tonight. 46 for St. Mary's, 78 for Fresno State. Biggest lead has been 34. Porter. Kept alive by Swillis. Couldn't put it back up and in off the glass. Shannon Swillis gets the Dogs to 80.
Blue collar guy. Yeah, he's a guy that will rebound inside. That's his game. He will not take too many shots on the outside, but he'll give you a little bit of what Larry Abney gave you in terms of rebounding and inside scoring.
Approaching 7 minutes remaining in regulation. Clark can't get it to fall. Urban reverses, count the basket. A spectacular shot by Urban. He put the spin from the other side and got the ball.
I think Coach Tarkanian liked that. Nick Urban with a little reverse. Nick liked it. Porter liked it. The fans loved it. Here's Nick Irvin. No question the favorite here in Fresno. Look at this little move underneath. Was fouled. Able to shield. Look, I don't know. Maybe he's got relatives in the stands, but he kind of pointed.
Nice can't finish, but a nice tip in
by Swillis. who was, I think, hit by El Sayed.
Got knocked to the deck.
Almost got knocked out. Going to have a 20-second timeout by Dave Bullwinkle and the St. Mary's Gales, who were known in their football years, Ralph, as the Galloping Gales, but they're not galloping tonight.
This broadcast is authorized under telecasting rights granted by the Fresno State Athletic Corporation and is intended solely for non-commercial use. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the description, accounts, pictures, or sounds of the broadcast without the express written consent of the Fresno State Athletic Corporation is prohibited.
Everywhere except on
For both.
There's Rod
Higgins, former Bulldog star. Spent a long time as an assistant coach at the Golden State Warriors. Now in the front office with his friend Michael Jordan, NBA's Washington Wizards. Getting an early peek at Chris Jeffrey.
Well, the Wizards aren't exactly lighting up the NBA, so I'm sure that he's going to be on the trail trying to find some bodies.
You telling me they could have a lot of ping pong balls in the
Yeah, they could have some ping pong balls in there. Although Rod Strickland's been playing well for him of late, and Juwan Howard's a good player, but they certainly could use some help.
Turnover. Pass intended was knocked away and stunned by Connor.
I think if Dave Bullwinkle, you're just telling your guys right now, look, that's the kind of shot you have to make. I mean, that was uncontested to the basket, and that's got to be a little frustrating for Dave and the Gales.
Al Sayed shows some open court move.
He's shown more than that tonight. Al Sayed, when the game was somewhat in doubt in the first half, don't forget, had 3 scores near the 10. He was able to rebound, start the fast break, made a great pass from the point inside. So he's had a very good game.
Al Sayed in double figures in his first game. He has 10 points, and the Bulldogs lead by 40.
You haven't said that in recent years very often. 40 is quite a bit.
That is huge.
That is huge.
And you have...
Now, let's not get too excited, because St. Mary's tonight really has... And they haven't played well. Of course, Fresno has made them not play well. But this is not a team that will challenge for their conference. Now, Sunday afternoon, on the other hand, St. Bonaventure is a team that will challenge in the A-10. Although, there's teams like Temple in there, some very, very good basketball teams, but the Bonnies are a good team, and they're a club, in my opinion, that will win 18 to 22 games this year. So it'll be a nice test for Fresno State on Sunday. It's a pretty impressive second half, 42 to 18.
Still 6 minutes to play.
And still 6 minutes to go.
The 2 free throws by Whitney cut it to 38. Jeffrey's pass is deflected out of bounds. The Bulldogs will retain possession with 20 on the shot clock. 5:49 on the game clock.
Nope, that may have been backcourt.
Well, his foot was in the backcourt.
Well, if your pivot foot is in the backcourt, you're all right. When you get it near the half-court line, you better make sure your pivot foot's in the backcourt.
Inside, the basket by Anderson, and a foul, I believe, is going to be on Scotty Graham.
The basket counts by Kevin Anderson.
Very positive move that time by Anderson, who was able, this is a very strong move. Graham with the foul, and what I like on that move there is Anderson did shield when he went up. He used his other arm to make sure that his shot was not going to be blocked. Now, I'll tell you, in the NBA, they call that an offensive foul many times when the guy is taking it up, because you cannot move your off arm and keep the defender away from you, but not in college. Have you noticed lately, Ralph, that the college rules are getting closer and closer to the NBA rules, which I think is good, by the way. See, I've always thought that the pro game and the college game were very different. But I have seen it the last 4 or 5 years, and it just seems as though you see the wide lanes, we're kind of messing around with that. You see the painted stripe near the basket, which means that you can't take a charge if you're within that circle. They're not going to call it. But look at that big lane. that's getting close to what the NBA is doing. Now, those are all experimental, and we're not going to see that during the regular season. But I think there's some good ideas that we're adopting.
Anderson makes both free throws. It's an 86-52 Bulldog lead.
I'm not too sure we still need a 35-second clock. I mean, why not go 24-second clock? The average shot's taken in about 18, 19 seconds.
Can't get that to fall. Well, they haven't come on to the park tonight.
There's been no threat by either club of a 35-second shot violation. Now, Jeffries is a versatile player. Now, you see him out here with the ball. And he's going to play that point guard, point forward, direct the club, and try to make some decisions.
St. Mary's on a 9-0 run here. A whistle away from the ball. We have a foul on the Gales. He's number 23 for St. Mary's and number 23 for Fresno State. Checks in. Andrea Mona taking over as Chris Jeffries goes to the bench. And I imagine Jeffries is finished for the night.
Scotty Graham to the line.
Scotty Graham, a transfer out of Boise State. A senior to the line.
It's going to be very interesting this year in the WAC. I think TCU may be a bit of a surprise club. Greedy Daniels, the guard that transferred from UNLV, pretty good player at the point. Will play the point for Billy Tubbs, and he can score. SMU will be very, very good. UTEP will have a good club. Not to mention, Tulsa is always good. So the WAC, again, very well balanced.
I'll say that rebound of Jackson Smith.
I'm going to think El Said does very well. That's difficult to teach. He never brings the ball down. Have you noticed when he gets a rebound, he keeps the ball above his shoulders. He never drops the ball low like so many big people. So when he gets the ball and he tries to follow it in, you notice he just always keeps his arms and the ball above his shoulders, which is perfect.
Yeah, he shoots free throws, too.
Got to get this guy more playing time.
I was going to say, give him some time on not bringing the ball down.
Well, he does not bring it down. I noticed in the first half when he scored, Ralph, do you remember those little jump hooks he made? He never brought the ball down. And it doesn't allow little guys to come in and deflect it. So many big guys always want to bring the ball below their waist. They're 6'11", and when they do that, they play 5'11". This guy keeps it above his waist and has that little jump hook to finish. And playing with Eli, as we said earlier, is going to be a real asset. This young man here could be something special if he continues to improve.
Approaching 4 minutes left in the game. Harris, the left hand, short, gets his own rebound. And has it taken away. Nick Irvin. Well, his ball shot over. Harris to Slaughter. He puts it up and in.
The good news for St. Mary's, if there is any in this game, is they are not quitting. They are continuing to play hard. Guys out there now have an opportunity to show the coach what they can do to get some playing time.
Jackson makes a nice roll and puts it in. Damon Jackson showing some moves. He has it.
Now, the one thing you cannot do if you're Fresno State, even though you make a spectacular play at the offensive end, you cannot come down and just allow the other team to take it right in and score easily. And I really believe this is why Coach Tarkanian took the timeout. He has not been happy with a couple of defensive sequences.
Wednesday nights during the KMPH 10 o'clock news, join head coach Jerry Tarkanian as he goes in-depth and inside Bulldog basketball in the Selma Auto Mall Coach's Corner exclusively on KMPH Fox 26, brought to you in part by California Business Machines. Bulldogs with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining. Lead by 30. The biggest lead was 40.
I've always thought, Ralph, it's very tough to play when you're way ahead or way behind. Because when you're way ahead, you get a little bit selfish and you don't really try very hard on defense, and you take the first shot. And when you're way behind, your mentality is, well, I got to show the coach what I can do, so that I'm going to just take it down and shoot it. So it get to be a kind of garbage time. And that's exactly what the last couple of sequences have looked like. And I know that Coach Tarkanian was not happy with the way his club made that transition from offense to defense and wants to get him mentally back on track.
Al-Sayed with the dunk.
Nice pass by Irvin. And St. Mary's is just allowing guys to come right off screens and penetrate down the lane. That will not happen as Fresno State faces a little bit better competition. Guys will come out. Here's Irvin again. Let's see if he gives it up. No, he's going to take it all away.
Irvin with 7. 93-59. Here come the Bulldogs again. Al-Sayed ahead of the pack. Nice bounce pad to David Jackson.
Let's see, he can run too. He's got 15. He's got 15. I don't think he's played 15 minutes.
Long 3. Long rebound. Chased down by Graham. Saves it on the floor. 1:45 left in the game.
That's the way you have to jump out on screen. St. Mary's now came out and challenged her. Let's go behind the back. And let's hit a 3-point. Let's fade away on the 3. Jackson's got 11. Let's just go out of bounds and give everybody a high five. It's 98-59. How do you like it?
You see 9-0 run down by Fresno State. Reaching. Bona with the rebound. Loses it. And a foul by Nick Irvin. Couldn't get out of the way. 1:06 remaining in this one. It's been all Bulldogs. And all that remains to be seen here is the final score. Irvin has 4 fouls. He looks over to the bench with a smile. There were quite a few empty seats here tonight, and I know that there are plenty of tickets available for Sunday night's game.
Well, this was not part of the season ticket package.
No, it was not. And the tickets will be $20 per seat. They'll go on sale at 1:30 in the afternoon for a 5 o'clock game between Fresno State and St. Bonaventure.
I think that will be a very good basketball. I think people that have an opportunity to come out will see a good dog Fresno State team and a very good St. Bonaventure club.
Time out on the floor. We'll be back to Selland Arena after this. Of the game, and Chris Jeffries out of Washington Union, and the transfer from Arkansas with a sparkling debut for the Bulldogs. Chris Jeffries. Player of the game brought to you by Sunday, the world's favorite raisin. As Nick Irvin makes a bid for player of the game with another 3, and the lead is back up to 40.
There's quite a few players that were making bids for player of the game.
Well, Al-Sayed, I thought
Al-Sayed was first game. No question was in the running. But Jeffries was scintillating tonight. I mean, he had 19 and could have had 30 if he wanted to force it a bit. They're going to do another one.
Irvin hits the deck. Harris high off the glass. So Javon Harris scores 5 straight. He has 13. Fans are getting antsy.
Well, they'd like to see 130. Well, I'll tell you, Jackson's impressive, though. I mean, if you're going to think of zoning Fresno State, I mean, Jackson's a guy that will be on the floor, and you better get to him.
Harris Just lets one fly at the buzzer, and that is it. An impressive season debut for the Bulldogs. Fresno State over St. Mary's, 104-66.
Coach Tarkanian, you got to be happy. I mean, St. Mary's is not the greatest team in the world, but the Dogs played well.
No, St. Mary's is a very young team, and I don't think that, you can't really go a lot by this game, but I think the game was good for us. I think our guys loosened up as the game went along. We've been really uptight. We got 9 new guys out of our 14-man squad, and we have 3 of them that didn't even play basketball last year, so they're uptight. But I was happy for the game. I was happy that everybody got to play, and it was one of the problems I got 13 players, and except for the first 2 or 3 guys, the next 10 are all about equal.
It looks like you can not worry about pressure in full court and getting after people this year.
Well, that's what we want to do, but I'm not really sure if we're quick enough in all the positions to pressure full court. We don't have that real quick blazing guard who can lock up the other team's quick guard. So I'm a little bit worried about whether we're going to be able to do that or not.
Well, an impressive first start, so congratulations.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Hey, let's get everybody out for the game Sunday. It's going to be a real good ball game. St. Bonaventure went to the tournament last year. They lost to Kentucky double overtime, and I know it's going to be a great ball game.
And they got a good big player. They got a big guy inside at 6'11" who had a very good game tonight.
Oh, he's a great player. They're an outstanding team.
All right, let's get out and see the Dogs on Sunday. Great win. Thanks very much, Jerry. All right, good win. Let's go back to Ralph Wood.
Thank you, Dan. Time now for the play of the game, brought to you by Digibop Technologies, where quality office equipment now featuring Hitachi and Xerox solutions. And here it is. As it did all night, defense leading to offense. Travis Devanby with the steal, gets it on the floor to Chris Jeffries for the windmill slam. The play of the game brought to you by Digibop Technologies. A lot of plays in this game for Fresno State. 104-66 winner. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. Rates as low as $9.99 call for the tails. Take a look at the stats from the ball game, Dan. Great shooting night for Fresno State.
Well, they did quite a bit right. I mean, you look at the block shots and the steals, and you don't even have the amount of turnovers that the Gales ended up with 25 turnovers, and Fresno State had 21, but I would say of the 21, Ralph, I'd say maybe 7 or 8 of those came late in the game when the game was well decided. So a very impressive start and against a team that's young, that's struggling a bit, and is going to have a tough season. But the fact of the matter is St. Mary's came out, and Fresno State came out and really took care of business. So I think a very good game and a very good test will come up for the Dogs early in the year. They've got St. Bonaventure here, and of course they go on to play North Carolina State, by the way, which would also be a big test. But I think St. Bonaventure are a good ball club, and as Coach Tarkanian said, let's get some people out here and fill the place up on Sunday.
Individually for the Bulldogs, they had 5 players score in double figures, led by Chris Jeffries with 19. Mustafa also had 15 points, 8 rebounds.
Impressive, and did not play. I wouldn't, just off the top of my head, he probably only played 15 minutes. I mean, he didn't get a whole lot of time. So a very impressive start for Mustafa El Sayed. So amongst everybody else.
Big game for the Bulldogs tonight. They advance to the championship game of the Hispanic College Fund Classic. That'll be coming up Sunday night, and we will see you then. For Dan Belwami and the entire crew here at Cell Arena, thanks for watching, where Fresno State has beaten St. Mary's 104-66.